How do you play B? That's actually a B seventh chord and not a B major. It turns out there's no good way to play a B major with some open strings. So we'll get to that later in the video. But the B7 chord is an interesting chord in its own right. It's the dominant seventh chord with respect to E major. So resolving from B7 to the E major chord gives you that nice feeling of resolution. Another reason why B7 is pretty common is because it's part of a lot of blues sequences. For example, if you go from B7 to A7 to E, and then E7, that's a pretty typical blues sequence. And what makes it sound kind of bluesy is the seventh note in the A and the seventh note in the E, which are not part of the E major scale or the E major chord family, but they give it that blues sound. When you play the B7 chord, you don't hit all 6 strings, you just play the top 5. So the open E string at the bass is not part of the chord. The chord starts with the 5th string. This is B, the root of the chord. It's just an A lifted up to a B. And then on the 4th string you have the 3rd of the chord. It's just a D lifted up to a D sharp to give you the major 3rd for that chord. On the 3rd string you have a G lifted up to an A. So that's the 7th. That's what gives you the B7th sound. And it's also the kind of the problem string in the B chord. It's the next place where you have part of the B chord on that string is up here, where it duplicates the 2nd string, and it's just hard to play that in conjunction with the other notes and get a good sounding B chord. So we have the 7th, then we have the B again, so we're back to 1, and then the final string here, the 1st string, has an F sharp in it, E raised up to F sharp. And that's the 5th of the chord. So we have 1, 3, 7, 1, 5. And so that's all the notes of the B7 chord in a slightly different order. Knowing which strings the notes of the B7 chord lie on can help you find some neighboring chords. So for example, the 3rd of the chord is on the 4th string here. And if you drop the 3rd down 1 fret, you'll get to a minor 3rd, and that'll make it a B minor 7th chord. So you just lift up your index finger, and that's your B minor 7th. Back to a B7. On the 3rd string, that's where we have the 7th. If you drop that down 1 fret, you can get to a 6th. Now to do that, you have to move your fingers around. So you switch your middle finger over to the 3rd fret, 1st fret, 3rd string 1st fret, and you move your ring finger over to the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and that gives you the B6 chord. And then if you lift up your index finger again, you can get a B minor 6. There's one more chord I wanted to show you while we're down here at this section of the keyboard. If you take the 2nd string, that's just a B. That's a repetition of the B that we have in the bass. You could lift that up 2 frets, and that would be a 9th. And we already have the 7th in there, so that gives us the B9 chord. And the way you do that is you place your ring finger across the top 3 notes, because they're all raised up to the 2nd fret. You put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string and your index finger on the 1st fret of the 4th string, and that gives you a B9 chord. It takes a little bit of practice to get it down. The interesting thing about this is that it covers all 5 strings. So knowing that all 5 strings are covered, you can slide this up and down to get 9th chords in different keys. So up a fret, you've got C9. And you go up two more, you're at D9. And here you're at E9, etc. So you can get pretty much ninth chords for free by sliding that up and down. One last thing about the B7 chord while we're down here. You sometimes want to play in an alternating bass style. And you can do that by taking your middle finger and moving it to the sixth string from the fifth string. And that gives you an alternating bass for the B7 chord. To play the B chord on the guitar, you have to use what's called a barre chord, where you place your index finger across all six strings of the guitar. Basically what you're doing is you're taking the A chord shape and lifting it up 2 frets so it becomes a B. So you have your pinky on the 4th fret of the second string. You put your ring finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and you put your middle finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string, and then you put your index finger across the 6 strings at the 2nd fret. And that gives you the B major chord. Once you've established the B is just A raised up 2 frets, you can get the same variations for the B chord that we got for the A chord. So, for example, on the 2nd string, you can lift up your pinky and get to a B suspended 2nd. Or you could put your pinky down on the 5th fret to get a B suspended 4th. And switching your fingers around, if you drop the 2nd string down to the 3rd fret by putting your middle finger there, then you get a B minor. And one last chord you can play up here is the B major 7th. So that's, you start with the B chord, and you switch your fingers around to drop the 3rd string down 1 fret, and that gives you the B major 7th. Starting with the B chord on the 2nd fret, if you add a 7th and then a whole step, that gets you back to a B on the 1st string here. And we know that if you make an E shape, a barre chord in the shape of an E, you get the B chord here. Just like with the A chord, but just stepped up 2 frets. So an E shape on the 7th fret here gives you a B chord. And then once again, if we go up 2 whole steps to the 11th fret and make a C shape, and that gives you a B chord up there as well. So those are your other locations for the B chord. So that's it for this video. If you have any favorite ways to play the B chord, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you around. Bye now.